On behalf of the Student Nurses Association, we welcome you to this celebration. Welcome President Marti, Provost Cole, department chairs, distinguished faculty, alumni, family and friends, and most of all, the graduating class of spring 2010. Just going to ask again to please clear the aisles. Welcome and good morning. My name is Patricia Burke and I am the professor in the Department of Nursing, and I will be your mistress of ceremonies this morning. Will everyone please stand for the national anthem? The national anthem will be led by Annette Artani.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we marched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Will the audience please be seated? Graduates, please be seated. It is my great honor to introduce Dr. Eduardo Marti, the president of Queensborough Community College.
Thank you very much. Let's see if I can move this. Welcome and congratulations. It is my great pleasure to have been asked to address the audience and the graduates. And I'm going to be a little bit impolite because I am going to be turning and talking to the graduates because this is really their day. It is truly a special privilege for me to address you this morning. Your presence in this stage is tangible evidence of the excellence of our college. You're twice survivors. First, you survived the rigorous selection process. And I don't know how many of you know, but if you don't, you should know, that only 1 in 10 individuals gets into this program. So you survived a 10-to-1 application to admission rate. But that's not the end. Then you had to face that clinical experience, that 1,000 hours of clinical experience, with all of the vicissitudes that come and accompany that process. And frankly, not all of you survive, although I am delighted to see that in this class, those of you who made it to 202 made it to graduation, and that is a feat. So congratulations on that. I also want to congratulate the families. As you all know, this is a collaborative effort. There are people in this audience who are spouses, mothers, I won't say grandmothers, but the families have worked with you to make this day possible. This is a very rigorous program, and we all know that. And we all know that with any rigorous program come these sacrifices that have to be made by the families. The amount of times that you were not able to be with your children or with your loved ones or with your friends, and that you had to spend the time preparing for examinations, preparing for clinical experiences. So today, I think that you should give your families a round of applause for what they have done for you. This morning you will be receiving a pin that symbolizes the fact that you're joining a group of professionals that devote their work to the welfare of those entrusted to them. Today you complete your training, and once you pass the NCLEX exam, and I know that all of you are going to pass the NCLEX exam, you will enter into an honorable profession. The education and training that you obtained at Queensborough Community College will hold you in good stead throughout your professional career. The critical thinking skills, the communication skills, the aesthetic appreciation, the historical context, combined with excellent clinical preparation, make you a very desirable candidate for a position in a very difficult hiring environment. Although, due to the recession, jobs are not as abundant as they were in previous year, the reputation of this program will give you a leg up when you're competing for a job. Hospitals are looking for the best nurses, and they don't have to look any further than Queensborough. So forget about the next level of the competition. Today, be assured that when you get to that point, you will be able to get the job that you want, and therefore, what you must do today is celebrate your accomplishments. Today you enter an honorable profession. As an important member of the healthcare team, you will face life and death decisions almost on a daily basis. You will administer to the sick, you will comfort the desperate, and you will provide humane, dignified, and caring ministration to the dying. But your responsibility does not end at bedside. It has been said that while the 20th century was the century of technology, the 21st century is the century of biology. And I am proud to be able to say that because when I was a student, I became a biologist, and when I was a practicing biologist, I understood the power of this discipline. And you are now in the century of biology. Just as someone who lived in the year 1908, just as someone who lived in the year 1920 could not possibly foresee space travel, instant communication, text message, internet, laptop computers, open heart surgery, we can't foresee where biology is going to take us. Every day we hear about advances in biochemistry and its application to prolonging life. Every year we hear about cellular biology. Every year we hear about nanobiology. How the advances in biology are going to affect health care is something that you, as practitioners, need to ensure that you understand. And the same critical thinking skills, the same ability to understand complex processes that will enable you to do your clinical experience must be applied to understanding what biology will bring to you. We're talking about intelligent cells. We're talking about cellular motors. We're talking about intracellular communication. We're talking about being able to manipulate life itself within the body. We're talking about organ transplants. We're talking about creation of artificial organs, and we know that we are doing that. We're doing that with bladders. We're doing that with bone. We're doing that with some of the cartilage. We're doing that with vocal cords. And imagine how that is going to change your field as you are ministering to the sick. So your responsibility is not, well, today your responsibility is to celebrate. Today you have a good time. But tomorrow you start reading about the advances in the discipline. Tomorrow you start getting prepared so that you can be at the bedside providing state-of-the-art care to your patients. So please continue with your work. I think that you all know that Queensboro is a pioneer in ensuring that we can have a direct route from the ADN, which is what you're receiving next Friday, not today, but once you get your diploma as an associate degree nurse, I think one of your responsibilities is to begin to plan to get your BSN. And Queensboro is very much as a pioneer in being able to make that transition possible and as easy for you as we can do it. So be aware of the fact that you're joining a wonderful profession. Be aware of the fact that you have to continue with your education as you go forward. And frankly, be aware of the fact that you have completed the most rigorous part of your professional career. You are now entry into practice. Everything else is gravy. Everything else is just adding to that foundation that you have today. So tonight, it's only, Thursday night? Well, maybe you want to take Friday off. Tonight, make certain that you celebrate with your families, celebrate with your friends, and be assured of the fact that your future is bright. Be assured of the fact that that we are going to be in good hands when we land in the hospital and I look at one of your faces. And please remember my face. And take good care of this old guy. But honestly, from my heart, personal congratulations to all of you. Enjoy your day, enjoy your profession, and keep going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Marti. At this time, it is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Diane Cole, Provost of Queensborough Community College.
Thank you very much, and good morning. I'm in absolute awe of you. Dr. Marti has certainly talked about your program and your accomplishments, and we can certainly all, as colleagues, faculty here, and staff who've worked with you, vouch for the fact that you have, in fact, achieved an incredible thing. Oh, thank you. Oh, good.
I have practice.
Thank you. So to the families and friends and the faculty and graduates, a very good morning. Community colleges are very much in the news. You see the reality of community colleges here today. They're a portal to higher education, and so many students, certainly this class of 86 graduates, came to Queensborough to realize the dream of a better life. Diversity is a hallmark of our college, as it is throughout the community college environment. 60% of you represent diversity in very many ways. 60% of you were born outside the United States. You come from Africa, Asia, Southeast Asia, India, Pakistan, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, the Caribbean, Central America, South America, the Middle East. Over 70% of these graduates worked while they were in school. Not easy. I'm very proud of this. 18% of these graduates happen to be men. This is very significant. This is very significant and certainly above the national average. So real men can be nurses. That's very good. Your academic beginnings were diverse as well. You were English language learners. Some returned to school after working or creating families. Some were book smart at the beginning. Some began with strong instincts for healthcare practices. You also had a great deal in common. You were determined. You persisted. And you endured great sacrifice. And is evident in your success as survivors, and we've used that word, we didn't practice together that, you also share academic excellence. Virtually every graduate on this stage is graduating with a 3.0 or higher. So, you've been together now quite a while, right? And you studied theories, and you applied clinical knowledge in the context of real life and sometimes death. You developed strong personal values and professional ethics. And you came to learn that you truly do make a difference in people's lives. And I think all of us can appreciate when we've been in need as a patient or a family member or a loved one, the incredible comfort that nurses offered us. You experienced personal and professional growth, but surely each one of you experienced some moments along the way of uncertainty. Perhaps you stared at that exam, you weren't sure which one to pick, and you know you never change your answers, right? Never. Okay. Sometimes you were very anxious before the exam, maybe even after, till you figured out how well you did. And sometimes there were probably moments of despair at how you were going to accomplish and handle everything. But you were also supported and comforted by one another, by your faculty in the nursing department and so many other departments on this campus, by your family and your friends, all of whom share this day with you. Graduation is certainly not the end. We call it commencement. So in the tradition of your profession, you're going to go on, sometimes endlessly, because there's so much to learn, as we've just heard. You're going to acquire more knowledge. You're going to acquire new skills. And you're going to discover even greater talents within yourself. So going toward this new adventure, please do keep several things in mind. Maintain your friendships. You've all meant a great deal to one another, and don't let go of that. Take time for yourself and take care of yourself. And that's a lesson I learned from Dr. Maureen Wallace, who I know you've had in 203, right? And always, please always, think of Queensborough, think of us as part of your family, and stay in touch with us and have an incredible evening and Friday off, and then you start all over again. But we really are very proud of you, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this.
Thank you, Dr. Cole. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce our chairperson of the Department of Nursing, Professor Anne-Marie Menendez.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Congratulations, graduates. I know you can hardly believe the day is here, but here you are, and I applaud you on your hard work and your perseverance. You have truly earned the accolades you have and will continue to receive. Recently, I had the opportunity to speak with a few of you, and you expressed anxiety over your readiness to practice. You even went so far as to correlate your entry into practice to a reality show and wondered aloud, will others question my competence? Will I be exposed? I can assure you, however, that you are well prepared to begin your nursing career. Just last Friday, a recent graduate came to speak with me and shared that even in his beginning days of work, he was pleasantly surprised at how much he knew and how well prepared he was for a position in a pediatric setting. These conversations brought me back to thinking of my entry into practice over 30 years ago at Mount Sinai Medical Center. I also was worried about starting out. I remember graduating in mid-May and leaving for a camping trip with friends within days of graduation. Upon return a week later from bucolic upstate New York, I was at work in one of the busiest critical care units in New York City. It was quite a contrast. I remember, however, the wise advice from one of my teachers who said, Anne-Marie, just go in humbly and ask questions. It is unrealistic to expect that new nurses will know everything. You have a good understanding of general concepts of practice, and you've been taught to identify patterns of data and connect concepts. This preparation will assist you greatly in your development of sound clinical judgment. But you will still need to ask questions and elicit help from others. As I know you have heard many times from your faculty, nursing is a profession of lifelong learners. As to acting humbly, I'm not recommending that you necessarily be meek, but that you must be respectful and know it is your right to question and to ask for assistance as you learn new skills. Do not be intimidated by difficult people. In a recent article I came across, a Buddhist monk stated that people who cause you difficulties should be thought of as very, very, very valuable teachers. They provide you with the opportunity to develop patience. In your early days of practice, you will need to be patient with others, but especially so with yourselves. So as you enter into this world of nursing, feel confident in all that you know, feel comfortable asking about what you need to know, and be patient in this journey. My wish for each and every one of you is that you ultimately have a long, rewarding, and wonderful journey in the profession of nursing. And I hope that one day many of you will be reassuring to your students as they enter into the practice of nursing. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. It is with great delight that I now introduce my colleague Cheryl Spencer of the Nursing Department, who will give the congratulatory address.
I snuck up on you. Hi, everybody. President Marti, Provost Cole, our chairperson, Anne-Marie Menendez, graduating class of spring 2010. I apologize, I'll talk to the audience. It is indeed an honor to speak to you today on an occasion that you have been dreaming of. As a matter of fact, you've been counting down this moment by the year, months, days, hours, and even minutes. Well, it is here. For some of you, it has been a longer journey than anticipated, But what is important is that you are here. The reasons why you're sitting on this stage vary as much as the shades of your skin and the language you speak at home. Let me be clear. Some of you came into this nursing program not because you've always dreamed of being a nurse, but for you, many of it's because of changes in life and circumstances that required you made a change. For some of you, this is your midlife crisis. Some of you came because every woman in your family on your mother's side is a nurse. Therefore, you must be a nurse. Does that make you a nurse? For some, it's a second, even third career, not counting your roles in your family. How soon did you learn that nursing is not something that is passed from generation to generation? You soon appreciated the hard work and dedication that it takes to be a nurse. For the first time, some of you know what a nurse really is and what nurses really do. You realized quickly that this nursing program, like many others, took up your entire life. Life before nursing school is something quite foreign, a distant memory. You undoubtedly have a list of things that you plan to do now with all your free time. These are some of the things you have put on hold and promised you would do once you're finished. So I'm here to remind you of some of them. You will exercise. You know I had to get that in. You will lose weight. You will read something that is not required reading. You will cook dinner. And the list goes on and on. It has been difficult to talk to any of you about current events because current for you is only relevant if related to a critical element or an exam. So tonight I'm going to briefly bring you up to date on what has been happening in the world in the past 2 years while you've had your head buried in Brunner and company. Okay. There's a new family in the White House, and I eagerly await my invitation to dinner. A simple woman from the country dared to dream a dream and wowed the world on Britain's Got Talent. A little movie called Slumdog Millionaire stole our hearts. Michael Jackson paid the price for abandonment of best practice in healthcare. There's a wise Latina sitting in the Supreme Court. The Yankees have a new stadium and another championship. Sorry, Mets fans, I could not resist. The Mets also have a new stadium. Perhaps the championship in their future? The swine flu epidemic hit Queens. Captain Sully ditched a plane in the Hudson and made us all feel great. The Tri-Bar Bridge has been renamed for a New York senator who also has a building named for him on this very campus. And I'm certain none of you up here knows that. Because life for you is only the medical arts building. That would be the gym. And my favorite of all, Jay Leno left The Tonight Show, but stuck around long enough to make the new guy uncomfortable. Basically, Jay Leno never left. I propose a new phrase for you to Google. I call it the Leno effect. So what is the Leno effect? Well, imagine you're a new nurse at your first job, and the first day of work, you find that your clinical instructor also works there. That would be the Leno effect. While that may be reassuring at first, you may soon resent it. We won't do that to you. The funny thing about all this shuffling at The Tonight Show was that David Letterman was having a good time, because suddenly he was off the hot seat and reminding everyone that none of this would have happened had he been given the job in the first place. Please remember, nurses, that while nurses spend time fighting with each other, people are watching and enjoying the show. So as a tribute to Mr. Letterman and a reminder to you of all things in nursing school culture, I give you today's top 10 list. Top 10 things that graduating nursing students are happy they won't have to do or hear. Number 10, get up at 6 a.m. to get ready for clinicals. Number 9, run to catch the number 27 bus. Number 8, return demonstration. Number 7, have your instructor check your medications. Number 6, third-degree AV block. Number 5, go to the practice lab. Number 4, you broke the sterile field. Number 3, writing intensive. Number 2, pray that Professor Hartnett or Professor Dorico's clinical section is not full. And the number one thing that graduating nursing students are happy they won't have to do is wear the student nurse's uniform. Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake. I can safely speak for my colleagues when I say we too have our list of things that we don't ever want to hear. And perhaps after you've passed your state boards, we will share them with you. And you will pass. You will sit for that exam and realize that you're truly prepared when you leave here. The next step for you is to secure your first job. As the president mentioned, you're entering the job market in New York City at a time when the domino effect of bad business has indeed touched us close to home. With the closing of 3 major hospitals, you will have a harder time securing a job than in previous years. Hospitals now can be extra selective in hiring. You will have to put on a phrase I learned from Dr. Wallace, a greater dog and pony show, securing a job. In your efforts to secure that job and keep it, I hope that you do not lose your good character. Character is not the Academy Award-winning performance that you will give to your potential employers when you're looking for your job. You know the one where you put on your best IBM blue? You promise to work every weekend and every single holiday? Nah, that's not it. Is that really you? Wouldn't you love to go on a job interview in comfortable shoes and the clothes you wear all the time? Your character is the person you are when no one is watching. Your character is defined by the thoughts you have about your fellow man. Only you know if your true character shows when you interact with people. It is my hope that good character blooms in your heart and blossoms with every patient you touch. And when no one is watching or close enough to hear, you'll be true to the essence of what a nurse really is. I am happy that you're eager to enter this profession because there's so much waiting for you to solve. Do not kid yourself to believe the need for great thinkers exists only in the hallways of healthcare. You will find that you use your skills as a nurse in every aspect of life. Certainly, you have already begun to look at people differently. You look at their veins. You look at skin color. You look for clubbing of the fingers. And you look for spots that are not clearly defined. You do assessments on your family and friends, sometimes without their consent. You look in shopping carts, and then you look at the individual pushing the cart, and you draw your conclusions. I urge you to be cautious how you judge, for others are judging you. Make sure that when you venture in public with your scrubs or any identifiable signs that you're a nurse and know better, that you do better. I know today's not Sunday, so I won't preach. When a patient smells smoke on a nurse who is telling them to quit, what conclusions do you think they draw? Good nurses practice what they preach. Make a plan of care for yourself because you are worth it. So as I thought about the problems that nurses are called on to solve today, my thoughts brought me to an unsolved mystery that requires a nurse's approach. So here goes. If a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? Or does it? I heard some yeses, I heard some depends. As a nurse, my first concern here is not the sound. Instead, it is the word fall that bothers me. You'll find that falls is one of the biggest challenges you will meet as you enter this profession. Falls cause patients to spend more time in hospitals, they complicate other health issues, and they cost healthcare organizations money. The nurse managers and administrators sitting in the audience today understand fully just how much resources is required to address one patient fall. So how would you, a QCC-prepared nursing student, handle this question? If a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Has anyone ever considered going into the forest? Nurses need more information to draw any conclusions, so let's take a trip together into the forest. Again, we ask, where is this fallen tree? There it is. And we ask ourselves again, did it fall and did it make a sound? We don't know that. Has anyone ever considered asking the other trees? How will you document what you have found? Will any one of you sitting here write that this tree fell? No. This is what you will write. Tree found on the ground with roots facing the west side of the forest. Tree denies making any sounds. Except for visible roots, no obvious signs of injury. Forest ranger notified. Problem solved. I want you to approach all your patients the way someone should have approached this alleged fallen tree. And I say alleged because nowhere in the statement does it say the tree fell. It said if. You must be diligent in your approach. Learn more about your patients and more about yourselves. This will make you a better nurse. You can't go back and do nursing school over, but I'm certain there are things you have missed. So tonight, if you, the graduating class of spring 2010, had to give advice to the nursing students who are volunteering here today, those who are still trying hard to get a good grade in anatomy and physiology and all those prerequisites, make sure that this is what you really want, because you will have to earn it. You will also tell them your GPA will be lower when you leave. You will tell them, be thankful for every passing grade. Take some time to explore college life outside the medical arts building. Queensborough brings the world closer, but many of you have missed it because you did not explore any other areas on this beautiful campus. Please tell them to take a glimpse of the art gallery. Listen to the beautiful sounds that are coming from this very humanities building. Visit the Holocaust Center to remind yourself that ignorance and hatred have no place in this world and definitely not on this campus. You'd also tell them that the tiger is our mascot, but keep an eye out for the other animals on campus that ask to be acknowledged. Don't tell them that QCC is the best nursing school. The president of the college will tell them that. Believe me, every chance he gets, he toots the horn of how great this program is. Instead, tell these students that you are going to continue your education, wherever it may take you. Encourage them to do the same. I guarantee you, when you have compared QCC to others, you will be able to say without any hesitation that indeed this is a great nursing program. Now it comes to that part in every speech where speakers feel the need to leave you a quote from some brilliant poet or philosopher. Too often these individuals are dead and never receive any accolades while they were alive. So tonight I'm going to give some flowers to the living. My parting words to you are to find no comfort in the suffering of others. Instead, be glad with the joy in your life. Be grateful for that C you received on your 102 exam because it gave you permission to continue. And without it, you would not be here. Be thankful for the opportunity to take a class over. Without that, you would not be here. Be grateful for the friends you have made. Without them, you may not have been here. Be thankful for the support of your family, friends, children, parents, and all those who have sacrificed so much to help you be here. I also leave you the words from one of my favorite songs. I won't sing. The song is called I Won't Complain. And for the church folks in the audience, you know the song. This person who wrote this song either went to nursing school or lost a loved one to the nursing program at QCC. Because the words are as follows. I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. I've had some weary days and some sleepless nights. But when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I won't complain. So as you look around today, on this beautiful spring day in 2010, on the 50th anniversary of Queensborough Community College, certainly you will not complain. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. At this time, we will begin our traditional candlelighting ceremony. As all the lights in the auditorium will be dimmed, we ask you to remain in your seats. We also ask that you hold your applause until all the graduates' names have been called. The graduates have chosen Audrey Maroney and Barbara Caravanos from the nursing department to light their candles. Carol McCann. Danielle Day. Natalie Vargas de Felipas. Yewon Kim. Roman Faizibayev. Sklaran Elisi. Please hold your applause because otherwise we will not hear everybody's name. Kevin Payton. Candace Lyons. Sharon McDougall. Nadira Radonzik. Wanda Jimenez. Ian Charles. Eddie Clark. Futko Kuryakovich. Alexei Koletsko. Olivia Hines. Fabiola Supri. Alicia Paul. Eugenie Jerome. Carissa de los Reyes. Alba Calderon. Rochelle De Souza. Makiba Williams. Marlena Coffey. Nakia Young. Christine Casworm. Cheryl Daly. Jeanette Ciota. Jackie Burke. Danielle Brody Chung. Juan Ravelli. Deirdre Dolan. Carmen Sabot. Felicia Johnson. Pamela Dunbar. Tiffany Greenidge. Tanola Ennis Young. Terrain Anderson. Ki Hun Kang. Alexandra Bayona. Sabrina Raza. Michelle Kauser. Breda Gagan. Rachel Harewood. Helen A. Nabokor. Brenda Walker. Lancelot Forbes. Rupinder Kaur. Tejinder Kaur. Melissa Antono. Barbara Johnson. Damaris Lugo. Xiaoming Wang. Karita Jackson. Diana Kalantarova. Narissa Yasin. Elisa Colon. Marjorie Nelson. Regina Tusky. Cecilia Lee. Glenn Luzon. Anthony Lamb. Yang Yo. Dawn DiGregorio. Radha J. Datal. Natalia Adame. Parveen Begum. Su Jeon. Reiko Aramoto, Maria Lya Smith, Ramneek Kaur, Mary Jingaleski, Hamwati Hardeo, Mary Liza Dimeyuga, Nancy Kaspara, Kelly Fama, Violet D. Torres, Catherine Avenya, Nanda Devi Singh, Sherry Sewell, Yvette Dyer, Crystal Diaz, Christine Porter. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of Spring 2010. Okay. We haven't finished. Quiet. 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 Thank you. Okay. The Nurses' Pledge will now be led by 3 members of the Nurses Association: Crystal Diaz, First Vice President; Yvette Dyer, Senator; and Sherry Sewell, Treasurer.
I will strive with all my being and with the help of God to become an open, honest, kind, and diversified individual. In doing so, I will attain qualities essential in the practice of nursing. For it is only after realizing one's self-worth we are able to promote that of others. Deliverance of high-quality care is of essential importance. But let us also reach beyond a treatment or diagnosis. And remember that entrusted to my care is a human being with all the loves, hates, fears, and idiosyncrasies that are an integral part of the human species. Let me not grow too comfortable in my knowledge, but actively seek out new information or continuance of my education. Being a nurse requires continuous growth. I dedicate myself to this cause and my life to the profession of nursing.
Graduates, please extinguish your candles. Graduates, please be seated. I would now like to call to the stage the President of the Student Nurses Association, Christine Porter, for the farewell address.
Good afternoon and welcome, President Marti, Provost Call, Professor Menendez, family, friends, and most importantly, our graduates. Welcome to our spring 2010 candlelighting ceremony. Once upon a time, this is a phrase that often begins many fairy tales and dreams. Today, we are here to celebrate the realization of a dream, a shared dream of these amazing graduates who stand here before you today. This dream is like a story that is written and yet not complete, a book that has many chapters yet to be filled, and each graduate will add these chapters as their stories continue. Our journey began like a fairy tale, a magical dream that began with but a thought. It was a dream to accomplish and achieve what seemed to be a beautiful fantasy, a dream to graduate a Queensborough nurse. The competition was fierce, the journey was arduous, but once we received the letter of acceptance, our shared dream became a reality. I liken beginning at Queensborough to that of a seedling. Faculty from our beginning departments, which include the English department, social sciences, biology, and chemistry, planted these seedlings within a foundation of security and strength, nourishing these young to allow for them to grow strong enough for the next step of their compelling journey. The nursing department toiled through many letters of application and reference to select those that surpassed all others, those that represented the strongest, most steadfast of the lot. These students were given the opportunity now to be nurtured by the best of the best. Upon entering our first semester, our Nursing 101 professors gently prodded us like seedlings. We needed nourishment and care, and we were educated on fundamentals. With gentle guidance and much nervousness on our parts, we began to grow and sprout. Our potential was witnessed, and the beautiful foundation was firmly in place, our skills set and our development well on its way. By the time we entered 102, we were youthful, yet ready for rapid growth. We were set along a path that offered room to expand and flourish, yet gentle guidance was still in effect. As we continued growing, like the young tree, our roots were firmly planted, and they were beginning to expand deeply towards a combined network. Entering 201 offered confidence. Our lives and educations were in full swing. The material was more complex, and our growth quite rapid. We stood tall with our branches expanding, our heads held high, our eagerness and desire for more was evident. Our professors teaching, nourishing, and watching these seedlings approach their final semester, the semester that represented the culmination of their dreams. 202 and 203 began the final stages of our time here at Queensborough, the culmination of all the nourishment, the education, the hard work, the tears, the fright, the pride, the desire to stand proud and confident, our care and compassion. The journey to a beautiful reality was closing in, and like that seedling that grew, we too have grown. Our roots are firmly grounded, intertwined, and connected with each other. We have blossomed into beautiful people, amazing nurses, and like that seedling that grew into the elegant willow tree, we will sway through the winds of time. We will withstand the storms of trials and tribulation, and when all is settled and a look is taken, our gracefulness and beauty as a QCC nurse will still forever be evident. Our foundations will remain firm and solid, our friendships still intact, and joined, for without such a strong and unyielding foundation here at Queensborough, ours would not have been a beautifully satisfying journey with such a fairy tale ending. I would like to acknowledge the families and friends of these graduates, those that are here with us today and those that were not able to attend. Thank you for your continued support, for your understanding and sacrifice. Thank you for caring for us
And thank you for loving us to understand and appreciate that our free time was minimal. Thank you for being our test subjects when we needed practice. Thank you for keeping us in clean laundry, for cooking, cleaning, and caring for each other when we were limited. Without your continued support and love, this moment would not be possible. It takes nothing less than unconditional love and support to have been able to withstand our nursing journey and sacrifices. Thank you. To the students, thank you for all that you are, all that you have done, and all that you will continue to do. As we leave here today, we take similar and yet different paths along our journey throughout life. Like the willow trees, our roots are forever bound together, our friendships truly cherished. We've shared moments of elation and moments of frustration. We've laughed and we've cried. But today, we celebrate. Be prideful, as today is most certainly the day to be proud of. Know that ours is a noble journey into a noble profession, and know that the lives you touch shall and will forever be impacted and appreciated, for it is not just your knowledge, but also your gentle smiles, your caring ways, and your compassionate care that is not just simply appreciated, but also desired. I have witnessed this beauty in each of you, and for this I say congratulations, and may you continue on with great success. To our beloved school and its leaders and faculty, thank you. Thank you for offering such a fine program, and thank you for selecting each of us and affording such a privileged education, one that shall be honored and cherished eternally. No matter where our paths lead us in our lives or where we may continue, it is here where we celebrate our beginnings. This is our home. May we represent you with the greatest success and paramount pride. In closing, I do have a quote from someone who's not alive. It is from Mahatma Gandhi. Every worthwhile accomplishment, big or little, has its stages of drudgery and triumph, a beginning, a struggle, and a victory. Today, graduates, we are victorious. Congratulations. This is your moment to shine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine. Okay, and now we're going to have Annette Artani provide some inspirational music.
Congratulations. Okay. Just waiting for the maestro to warm it up.
Tell me
you, Annette. Okay, now we're going to have the pinning ceremony. The following professors of nursing have been chosen to present the pins: Professor Kathleen Hartnett, Professor Donna Dorico, Professor Janice Malloy, and Professor Tina Baer Hummel. Will the graduates please rise? This is when I cry. Now. After I do the congratulations. Right.
Oh. Well, so proud of you.
This is always the teary part.
I don't. You know what? Let me stand on the other side, maybe.
Yeah.
I want to be near that mic. Did I do okay? Did I do okay? You sound good on my name. Yeah, you could. I know, one of the students gave me a tissue.
Did we do okay? Then you're all going to stand there? Oh, this is so... Jiaming. Like, oh my... Regina. Now you can. Now you can. Pictures are taken. Okay. Barbara looks so like she's gonna pop.
Until Anthony comes.
I gotta give Anthony a hug. So. He's gonna hug everybody.
I know he
Oh God, I forgot to like my food. I never did to you and sometimes probably sometimes it's better to do it that way, right? Maria! Congratulations to the class of spring 2010. Woo! You did it! Thank you all for coming and sharing this wonderful ceremony. I'd also like to thank the incoming president of the SNA, Amanda Tennyson, and all of the student volunteers who made this possible. We would be delighted if you would join us for refreshments outside at the plaza. Again, congratulations, Spring 2010. All right.
Ben.